Good evening, Carolina from Seed Adventures here. Let's talk about Christmas in Peru with the Amazon jungle and all the highlights in just a week. I'm going to share my screen. We'll go through the trip together just so you see all the logistics, everything that's included, how things work, why things are. So this trip, based on your date, starts on December 25th. So you're going to take that international flight. It's an overnight flight that arrives on the 26th. Those flights usually arrive early in the morning, maybe 6, 7 o'clock. So that means you're going to be pretty tired, but there's no room available till the afternoon. So early check-in and breakfast is included at the hotel so that you can refresh, take a little nap, and really unwind before you dive into all the touring. So Suma Hotel is a great property right in Miraflores, right on the ocean. Great rooms, great restaurant, and anything that you might need to feel wonderful. And then in the afternoon, my guides will meet you and will show you the best of Lima. So you tell me here, do you want a proper historical tour with, all the buildings and main squares and highlights that way? Or do you want to do a walking gourmet tour, which kind of touches on a lot of the highlights, but you will be eating along the way. So you're going to have snacks at the ruins and pisco sours on the ocean and go to the park. And it's a really great way to see the city, but it is your choice. So you let me know what you would like to do in Lima that afternoon when we arrive. And then on December 27th, it is the only day on your whole trip that we are able to go to the Amazon and take a 3-night cruise. So really great that it fits inside your dates. And I'm so happy to have found cabins available. So we're going to take you back to the airport, take a flight to Iquitos, which is the mouth of the Amazon River, which is a great place to get to the ports. And from there, our cruise, the Amatista, will take over. So the team will be waiting there for you. They're going to bring you to the boat. They're going to show you some sights along the way. They're going to have a proper tour. And then everything for the next 3 nights is done by the team on board the Amatista. It's a small ship. It's a really great, casual, laid-back family atmosphere. I believe there are no more than 29 people on board. So it's a really nice way to explore the jungle because you're going to get to know everybody. The groups are really small, so you go out with your guides on these excursions. And so the itinerary that you have here about the boat, read about it, check out what you're going to be doing. But I always like to say the Amazon kind of dictates what you're going to do, the water levels and the weather. So the guides who are all local that work on board, they're going to figure out what the best things to do. When are we going to hike? When are we going to visit the local community? When are we going to go on hanging bridges like this? Really wonderful things. You're going to go do things by boat. You're going to do things on foot. You're going to go fishing for piranhas, or you can even go swimming in the water where the piranhas are. So lots and lots of fun. I've been to the Amazon many times. I try to be in the jungle at least once a year. So if you have any questions, concerns, how to prepare, let me know, and we are happy to help. And then after 3 nights on the boat, we're going to bring you back to Iquitos, take a flight to Cusco now. So now we're in Cusco, now we're in the Inca Triangle, and we are in high altitude for the first time. So the really smart thing to do is to acclimate somewhere else, not Cusco, because that's the highest place you're going to be on this whole trip. So we're going to take you to Sacred Valley. So Cusco and Sacred Valley, they're just about an hour and a half away from each other. Sacred Valley is like a big countryside, lots of ruins here, lots of wonderful indigenous communities. So it's a great place to unwind and acclimate. So that first day, it's kind of a travel day. You're not going to arrive till the afternoon. We're going to have a lovely lunch on the way, somewhere scenic, and then have you check into your hotel and kind of acclimate and start preparing your body for being in high altitude. The Sonesta Posada, great property in the countryside. As you see here, I put that picture so you can understand you're going to be surrounded by the Andes. It is so beautiful here. And then on December 31st, we're going to take you out and show you all the highlights. We're going to go to the market. We're going to go to an indigenous community. We're going to go to climb some ruins because we want to prepare you for Machu Picchu. Really full, lovely day, great lunch out in the valley, and then come back to the hotel for a New Year's Eve dinner, which they will have a little party, which they do every year. This is some of the ruins that you're going to be visiting. And now January 1st, which is such an amazing way to start the new year, we're going to take you to the train and we're going to go to Machu Picchu. So we're going to have a full day in Machu Picchu. We're going to take the Vista Dome in the morning. It's about a 2.5 hour ride, and we arrive in Machu Picchu. The guide will shuttle you right to the ruins. It's a little bus that goes up and down the mountain, and we're going to spend our time exploring the ruins. The ruins are kind of cut up into 6 circuits. So we're going to tackle one of them, which gives you beautiful views, beautiful photos. And then we're going to come back to the little village. You'll have some time to go to the market. We'll have lunch arranged for you. And then in the evening, we're going to take the train to Cusco. So a lot of the times that I travel to Peru and offer Peru, I suggest spending a night in the village and doing the Machu Picchu visit again in the morning. With your time frame, we don't have that luxury to spend the night in Machu Picchu. But if you have an extra day and you can add it, I highly suggest it. Why? Because when you do 2 visits to Machu Picchu, you can do 2 circuits. You can do some really lovely overlook hikes. And also the lighting is different in the morning. Sometimes it's rainy in the afternoon. So if you have a second opportunity to visit the ruins, it's always a good time. The train that I chose for you on the return actually serves dinner on board. So it's a lovely experience. Something that Peru does really well is train rides. And then in Cusco, we're going to spend 2 nights at the Novotel. This is a great colonial hotel. It's like an old mansion that was redone into a hotel, really well located. I mean, just steps from the main square. And then that allows us to be really centrally located so that January 2nd, when we have a full day dedicated to Cusco, we can go to the market, we can go to the ruins, we can explore and see life in Cusco. And so after the proper tour of all the sites, we're going to do a really fun walking cocktail tour. So you meet a local chef, he takes you to 3 restaurants, you taste things along the way, maybe you learn how to make a pisco sour, just to kind of get a sense of what it's like to live here in Cusco, taste your way through Cusco. And then we end with the Map Cafe, and that's inside the Archaeological Museum of Cusco. Really wonderful museum that closes down at 6 p.m. and opens its doors to people who have a reservation, which will be you, to enjoy a meal amongst the artifacts inside the museum. Really fun experience and a beautiful meal. It was my favorite meal on my last trip was here. And then January 3rd, depending on your flight home, we will get you to Lima to connect to that flight, and off you go. So that's 10 days in Peru with the Amazon jungle, with Machu Picchu, and so much more included. I wanted to make sure you kind of understand the itinerary, everything that we're doing, but it is your trip. So if you would like any changes at all, just let us know. We're here to help. Happy travels.